Nice and spicy. This is Port Ormos. Now where could
Is that Paimon I hear?
Huh?
Oh, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Dinyarzad! It's been so long since we've seen you!
I'm doing well. I don't know if you've heard, but Elazar has completely disappeared, and all the patients have recovered.
You kidding? Knowing them and the connections they've got, I'm sure they've heard.
Yeah!
That's right. My lady is feeling better now, so I'm accompanying her for a walk.
Why do you still call me that, Dia? You've already informed my father of your resignation.
I guess I'm just used to calling you my lady.
Resignation? You mean you're quitting?
Yeah, I might start losing my edge if I keep being a bodyguard for the Homayanis.
You know that my parents and I are fond of you, and that we appreciate you very much.
I'm not a woman that's easily persuaded. When I took this job, I had already decided that I'd quit as soon as you'd recovered.
So what are you gonna do now if you're not gonna be a bodyguard?
I want to take a risky job and put my body to the test again.
Huh? But we literally just finished one of...
I know. If I hadn't joined in that plan, I guess I still get life is short, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of that operation. But the whole thing also made me realize that there are still many problems in Sumeru. And as a desert dweller, I'm still not completely ready to settle down on this side of the wall.
Well, I remember a friend had...
You mean I'll hate them? I did.
We just came from talking with Alhaitham at the
Did he tell you that he suggest...
What?
I heard that Azar and his crony...
Whoa. Paimon can't see you being anything other than a mercenary.
Ugh, forget about it. I wouldn't last... I'll hate them probably just like the...
But you know, because you're super amazing.
The Matra have all the talent they need as long as they have Sino. I prefer to be free to live however... In fact, I chose this job from the very
Even if being a mercenary means facing all...
A lion has to return to the wild sooner or later. If anything, being your bodyguard has been unfamiliar territory for me.
I don't want to see you go, but I'll respect your decision.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Come on, no need for the sad face. It's not like we'll never meet again. Once the whole Dendro Archon thing is... But a peaceful society will probably mean less demand for mercenaries like me. Before...
Huh? But wait a second.
Well, no. Not yet, at least. I promised my...
So, have you been in Port Ormos?
Oh, did Nilou...
She heard that you were seen in Port Ormos, so she sent the letter here.
Huh. It was... My lady has been very...
Right, and we tend to leave quite early in the morning, so...
So what it really sounds like is that the person on duty is always asleep.
I bet the letter's at the reception desk. I'll go...
No wonder there wasn't a reply.
Sorry to make you two come all the way out.
It must be something important for Nilou to specifically...
Yes, she...
Great!
Oh, count me in too. But is there some sort of dress code or anything for the feast?
Since it's being organized by Nilou, I don't think she'll be too picky about that.
All right, then this is how I'll show up.
The feast will be held in 2 days, so don't forget.
Sure.
Thank you so much for
Oh, by
The General Mahamat...
Oh.
But last time, as for Rahman, your guess is as good as mine. I only remember he said that he had something to discuss. Don't mention it. You'd better get going.
All right, on to our next stop. Boba, get them! It's been a while since we last visited Aruville. Ah, there's Sino!
What brings you here?
We recovered well, and Tanari agreed to let us leave. So now
It seems Gandharvaville's medical treatment.
and Tanari...
That's good to hear.
Yeah, you're the one who brought us to him when we lost contact.
You're welcome. Tainari has excellent medical skills, and Kale is quite attentive.
But why are you just standing here like a dead tree?
I'm meeting some people.
Oh, you mean Candace?
I've already talked with Candace and the village chief, but you know one of the people I'm...
Oh, by King Deshret's blessing, my friend suddenly appears in the desert. Don't tell me.
Roman! And...
Oh,
Oh, well...
Don't worry, these are...
I see.
I'm doing well. Many good...
Same here. Really.
Oh, tell us everything.
Yeah,
Alright, well, I suppose I've decided to leave the academy.
What?
It's not that I've given up on being. I will no longer pursue research. I plan to leave the academy.
Wow. So,
Sataria will return to... She can't teach everyone.
Yes, it's my. That is the true.
The people of King Deshret suffer from sand. The stars have always...
Oh, please. Where's all of this coming from?
You deserve these compliments. Mercenaries are accustomed...
Sataria's idea will bring much good to...
At first, I feared. As you know, all knowledge is under their surveillance and control. But what I heard at that time has been haunting my heart. As if there were lightning. Sataria. Sataria. These words sparked. I gathered up the
Azar has received much-needed punishment. Though, if you ask...
Lord Sino helped me obtain permission. My plan was able to go smooth.
you're all doing so...
Aside from that, I also...
Lesser Lord Kusanali has allocated many... I applied for a few batches of educational materials.
That's exactly...
Apart from this, we must be persistent about this, and maintain these resources to ensure long-term...
This is the first time in hundreds of years we've had a glimmer. Remember these words. Here lies our faithful priest. I hope people with wisdom...
Enough about us.
No, not at all. Neither wanted to write to everyone, but a celebration feast will be... At the feast, we'll also be celebrating Sino's... although, judging from your opinion...
Celebration? Feast? It's the first I've heard of it.
Tainari was right. He would...
This feast is for...
It's rare to see that kind of
No, not really. But I'll go.
Well, I still have a lot to hand...
I'm afraid I won't be able to join you. Although, if you'd be so kind, the messages. I'm sorry for how I treated you before, but now I understand the beauty of you and the art. Please keep dancing, and someday...
Okay, we've got all that down. Our job here is complete as well. Oh, Sino, remember, party's in 2 days.
Got it.
Today's the big day! Let's go to the Grand Bazaar and see how the celebration's coming along. Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Everybody's already here! Looks like we're the last ones to arrive.
You're here.
Ah, there you are.
Well, look who finally decided to show up.
You look like you came here immediately after finishing up some work.
But we're not late, are we? It's just that
I propose that the last one who arrived be
Nah, there won't be any speeches today.
Oh, really?
come join us over here.
Everything looks...
Wow. Whoa, it's so delicious! Oh, this grilled meat tastes amazing!
The food was specially prepared for you by everyone that came said that you saved Sumeru.
Ah, feels kinda nice to be seen as
Being a bodyguard is also a hero's job.
my lady sure.
And I'm happy to meet everyone that participated.
Don't mention it.
Come to think of it, we've really
We owe it to our abilities. And luck.
Really? What?
That's how I remember.
It's luck that brought... Moreover,
Yeah. It was almost everyone played their...
So, would you say we're good actors too?
It's such a blessing that less...
Yes, even after being abandoned. Lesser Lord Kusanali once used all her power in a great disaster, which resulted in her. This should be something everybody should remember. Huh? You look surprised. I didn't.
no, everything you said is...
That's good.
Something wrong?
Yeah, what's with that face? You knew all of this already.
Even if those two giants of the academia, those sages really have some nerve. If you bite the hand that feeds you,
Perhaps I shouldn't say...
You could simply tell...
I respect our While we're on this topic,
Are you trying to say that...
not at all.
why? Because,
Could you try...
but seriously,
I did have my own motive. If the rules of our...
by that you mean
Precisely.
Wait,
So, that's...
It's reason enough.
You've certainly got quite.
You flatter me.
all right then.
That's right.
will you be happy?
It's not about being...
Even so,
Thank you.
Boba, get them!
there you... Well, how is it? Are you enjoying the... That is the first time I've ever invited so many... You see, every guest here is... Make sure you live it up tonight. I'm honored to have her think of me this way. I can't explain why.
I seldom participate in such lively... No. The Grand Bazaar is live... That happiness is in a... I seem to... Oh well.
My lady, the grilled meat over there is...
Yes, I also tried some fruit. What an amazing place to...
You said it. Oh, look who else is here.
Hello. Oh, I'm so happy Nilu invited.
Hey, less of that polite chit-chat.
The atmosphere here is good. And I don't often come to such places. I have a lot to handle these days. There's always next time. We're friends after all. This feast is pretty good. I like it.
Hey, what's wrong? Your head is starting to droop. Hey, you can't just fall asleep here. Paimon will go find something delicious for you to eat. You'll wake up once you've put something yummy in your tummy. Of course, just wait here for Paimon. It's me. You may blame me for being a bit too self-indulgent. The connection between us is amazing. It's like Flora... I heard there's an amazing celebration feast today at the Grand Bazaar. Lately, I've been so busy dealing with all the fallout from recent events, so I really haven't had any... Although you've already helped me with... Please say thank you to everyone for me. Oh... But if I just show up all of a sudden, what if I end up scaring them and ruining... Okay. Yes, I have. You said I should go thank everyone as myself, right? So... I've decided to borrow your body for the time being. Please don't blame me. The Flora also climbs up to the fence to get closer to the sky. Everyone! Are you awake now? Paimon was just about to bring you the food. It's me. Huh? That voice. Nahida?
Hold up, what's going on?
I didn't expect to have a conversation with the consciousness of Lesser Lord Kusanali in the Grand Bazaar. Interesting. Is this also a part of the feast?
No, of course not. Are you... Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Hello, Nilu.
You know who I am?
Yes, I already know every one of you. Nilu, Alhaitham, Sino, Dia, Paimon, and Dunyarzad.
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I took the liberty of occupying the Traveler's body so that I could thank all of you in person. Thank you so much for rescuing me, even if that meant placing your own safety in peril and taking the risk of becoming enemies with the Academia, the sages, the doctor, the balladeer, and even the entirety of Sumeru. Without you, without any of you, I would have been in a much more difficult situation. Had you not helped me to resolve the crisis, not only I, but Sumeru and even the entirety of Teyvat would have... People refer to you as the heroes who managed to rescue a god. I'm quite fond of this name.
It not only explains your identities, but also bears witness to your relationship with me. Please, allow me to present to you my most sincere gratitude.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you have done so much for Sumeru, and I didn't even have a chance to do anything for you. You don't have to do this.
Dinyarzad, the suffering you endured during your illness is also proof of you being with me and praying for me. Thank you.
You don't need to be so ceremonious. It's always been my duty to protect you.
This is how the relationship between the Academia and Dendro Archon should be.
You're an Archon, but you act so humble. You really don't need to.
I'm honored to have the.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Are you awake? Did you rest well? After Nahida left, you ate a lot of food. You've become a glutton. That just means you still have a lot to learn from Master Paimon. Alright, since you're awake now, should we go and have... She should be in the Academia right about now.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Now I got stomach cramps. Boba, get them!
Nahida!
Hello, Traveler and Paimon. What a fantastic night. I'm still immersed in all the happiness and joy.
So are we. And that's why we're here to...
Is there anything you want to know? After recent events, the Akasha can no... I've given it some thought, but this is definitely not a bad thing. The Akasha's centralized administration of knowledge. Although people may initially feel a little uncomfortable with the loss of the Akasha, and as for the future of Sumeru, the former sages have received their punishment. I hope that the new 6 great sages will be more focused on that. The other big issue, I've already taken some measures to address this. You mean, what happened after the doctor put you... You guessed correctly. The top-ranked Fatui Harbingers, up to number 3, possess power comparable to that of gods. I was no match for him in that kind of situation. However, in spite of the bad situation, I'm sure you remember the entity that... In fact, the Heavenly Principles has been quiet since the Conria disaster 500 years ago. I told him that the Heavenly I assumed that the Heavenly Principles... And as for what I exchanged for the Gnosis... The exchange served as both punishment for the doctor, as well as a boon of... He's still in a coma. I've hidden him like how one would... I know you have many misgivings about him. Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on him, and in addition, his future will be determined by fate. Is that where you're headed next? Fontaine, the nation of justice? As far as I know,
Does their Archon personally judge people?
no, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra... However, as Archon, she's... Anyway, let's... Are you sure? Isn't there something...
Huh?
About your sister. While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Irminsul search for information on your sister.
Yeah. Isn't Irminsul a repository for all the information and
This is true in your case. However, there must be something different about your sister. Because, as it turns out, the world...
What?
There is only one possible explanation. Shiba...
But nothing about this makes any sense. Wasn't this your first trip to Teyvat?
According to the records I was able to access after the Conria disaster, but just as her journey was about...
What do you mean, Fuzzy?
All I know for sure is that somebody, and whoever it is, if they can do...
But even that wouldn't explain how she somehow...
Something else I noticed was that according to these...
What's a descender?
Look, I'm sure you must be curious. A very important traveler. You are Teyvat's fourth descender.
Huh? So the Vatui count 3 other descenders before the travel?
That's right. My current hypothesis. As for the other descenders...
Paimon's head's...
And yet, even knowing all, there are many questions in my heart as well. I will need some time to go through each one of them. And soon, you'll also begin your journey anew. And I'm very interested in your... If fate is the ultimate knowledge...
Paimon's sure glad we got to meet you, Nahida.
The pleasure is all mine. I can't thank you enough. Alright, that's enough.
Huh? Wait, you're that blonde traveler who's on a journey to...
Who's asking? Do you...
You bet I do. I was He was a crafty fellow, let me tell you.
Well, we are all... So, what?
He just wrote...
What? So the address is Paimon?
Yeah, exactly, right? And if I failed to deliver the letter, I'd have been bound by Really, he got me good. I count myself very lucky that I ran into you here. Of course, here it is.
Come on! Paimon wants to have a look too! Kaya, huh? So he's here in Sumeru. Now that Paimon thinks about it, Crafty does describe him pretty well. From what he wrote in the letter, it looks like... Or maybe he's just being sneaky. Do you think he's making this sound like a miracle of fate so that we'd have to go... yeah, you're right. It's always nice to see old friends. The letter says that he hangs out at...